Welcome back to the lab. Late start. That's about right today. That thing's weird sometimes. Anyway, I said I had a plan. The plan involved this. The plan's changed though. Let's have a look anyway. Driver's seat. Just carefully chucked on the floor there and amongst all the other stuff. It's fine. I'll look after it. I'll shift it out of the way when we start making a mess in here. Quite large brackets on there. To get the height, these are aluminium brackets, they're OMP, genuine OMP ones. You can see they've had a little bit of a hard time. I'm not going to be able to show you while holding to the seat and the camera, but the brackets move quite a lot. You might be able to see that. That's basically just wobble in the brackets. So that kind of improves when they're bolted down a little bit. Bolted down properly, but just the sheer nature of having so much leverage going on, the seat moves around in the car side to side, but probably as much as that, there's probably 10-15 millimeters of movement in there, and you can see that in some of the videos. So game plan is, if we lift up these mounting points, this one's a bit harder. I think I talked about this earlier, but I'm literally just going to chop this bar out through there, off there, shift it all up and put the bar back. It'll be fine. That bar doesn't actually have to be there. That's not a homologation thing. It's just added on later. I don't think it matters if we shift it, but we'll talk to Motorsport New Zealand anyway. In fact, we can do that. They're probably open today. So we lift all these up, and it'll give us less leverage from this mounting point to the mounting point on the side of the seat, so the seat won't move around as much. It will also, if I do it properly, it will stiffen up the transition in between here and the transmission tunnel, because we lift that up higher and it's just going to make it stronger. Although bearing in mind it is still just attaching to a flat piece of panel steel, but conveniently, or by design, you decide, it's where it's got a nice angle on it, which is actually in there to increase strength. Let's not look too closely at that welding, it's, like I've said earlier, anything that's silver, any welding that you do, man, it looks real bad real easily, just because of the way the light plays on it, all that sort of carry on. So that's my game plan. In fact, I'll make a phone call to Motorsport New Zealand right now, and I'll say, look, I just want to chop out these bars and shift them and put them back, and they're going to look the same. Is that a big deal or not? I don't think it is, but we'll see what they say. I haven't had lunch yet. I should probably do that. We haven't had any further bad news today, but we also haven't had the courier turn up, so I haven't got the parts for that Z32. So anything I do on this at the moment, it has to be so that we can lift it back up at the end of the day, put that back in, put the Z back in, because I can't leave that lying around outside. Not overnight anyway. Right, phone call. So I made the phone call to Motorsport New Zealand. As it turns out, they're about to possibly do some changes with seat mounting rules and all that sort of stuff. So a photo has been taken, a description of what I want to do has been written, email has been sent, discussions will be had. Make sure whatever I do, like if I leave that alone right there as it is, there'll be no problem. We carry on using the car, that'll be fine. If we change it, we need to make sure that it complies with any changes that they're proposing right now, because otherwise, if I do something and it doesn't line up with the new things that they might want to do, problems will happen. Problems will be occurring. So I need to find something else to do while I wait for a response on that one. I guess the first thing I need to do is pull that vinyl wrap off that bar. It's done anyway, lots of chips in that, looking nasty, and it'll get all burnt and smoked if I do any welding in that area. So that's got to come off. Think of something else to do. I guess on this side, the game plan would be probably leave those plates where they are, build bigger gussets here, bring those right up to there from here, just to reinforce this area and stop the floor. Having the ability to do that as much, just to strengthen the car up a little bit. There's some gusseting, this style of thing, that's for a harness mount point, that I want to do on the inside to create a, let's draw a picture. Hang on. A nice clean whiteboard actually, not much on here at the moment. Passenger side floor comes up like this. We've got our little bit for our drive shaft to run in, and then the tunnel comes up like this. It comes pretty much straight down on the driver's side. So you can imagine a shape like, and the floor would be level of course. Let's do it because we've got time. There we go. Looks a little bit better. You imagine a shape like that has not got a lot of structural integrity as far as stopping this sort of thing happening and this sort of thing here. That's why it's tapered towards the front, and we've got the bell housing actually comes out at the other end. It's got a bit of a, if we look at a plan view, it's tapered, it comes out like that, and this shape here gives it some ability to stop it doing that. But the plan is, so we've got seat rails here, rough scale, they're about there. There's a tiny little bracket gusset there. If we make this bigger, then the ability for this piece to bend here is non-existent anymore. It has to bust up or buckle or flex these brackets here, so that that makes that transition there nice and strong. However, that one there has still got, it's only just relying on the fold and some basic shape in the tunnel like I talked about, so that can still wobble like this. But the drive shaft is only positioned something like this, so there's potential to add something in here to transfer that into, then it can bend here, right? But you're not going to be able to do much about that. And same deal over here, we can add something in here like this to give that some, well actually it's probably going to be more like this because the drive shafts are not very close to the top of that at all, so we can do away with all that. We can put a big gussety thingy in like that, put some speed holes in it. I'm drawing a monster. There's this little nose. Put some teeth. Yeah, so that's the plan going forward, but we really got to worry about a gear shifting mechanism. There's going to be a gear lever. There's going to be some sort of a bracket. There's a rod to come through from here on the gearbox and all that sort of stuff. So at the moment, I'm just going to focus on these bits that are on the outside driver's side at the moment. Seat rail type thing is only that high. If we bring that up 55 mils, which is probably more than twice the height that it is at the moment, that really puts a lot more strength in this area here, and transfers everything up to this area where we can run this gusset a lot thicker. So that's the plan, but like I say, at the moment we just have to wait to hear back to make sure we can do what we want to do and keep going. Big chunk of the day disappeared. Took some paint off here and tidied that all up because it was all looking a bit rough. Heaps and heaps more work to go on there. Got our new gusset in. That's what we had. That's what we've got. That's got to be much stronger than that. Everyone can get out their computer and do finite and what's it called? Finite stress analysis and all that sort of carry on. But that is going to be better, more stronger, less boing in the transition from here to here. Still the same amount from all that. Now I can put a gusset from here up to here if I figure out where the seat is. I think the seat actually pretty much crashes into the back of the fire extinguisher bracket, so we would have to move that forward, and then you can't reach it properly from the driver's seat over there, so a bit tricky. See what I can come up with. Heard some news about old mate Z32 sitting out there. So the courier that had those parts on board was close contact with COVID, so he's shut down, or they are shut down, so that's not good. As I understand it, look at that big bald head. Where's the beanie gone, Glenn? As I understand it, Repco have jumped into action and got some more coming from somewhere else, so that'll be good. I haven't checked to see if the compliance centre is actually operational or not. They may not be. I'll leave that until I've got the parts, fit the parts in the car and go from there. It's 4:30. I'm going to find something else to do. Alright, I did do something. Put the cars away. Today's not been very successful. There was something else that I did that I didn't show you earlier on. No, we don't have all the parts from powder coating. No, it's nothing super exciting. But we do have a detonation sensor mounted and plugged in, and the wiring all reaches, and we've got another one back there somewhere. Where's that one? Oh, it's down there. There it is there. Mounted, plugged in, wiring reaches. The temperature sensor and the oil system down there, wiring adapted, so a new plug put on that, terminated, and all that sort of carry on. So that's three things. Three things happened on the BMW. So, okay. Not serious progress, but progress nonetheless. Most boring video in the world. Sponsors, good sponsors. More sponsors, good sponsors. I'll try and do something more exciting tomorrow. Cheers, bye.